Let's call this select board meeting to order on March 26th at 6:04 p.m. May everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right.
Now, you want Amy should scoot over here, so we're gonna like, I feel like I'm in the middle, so I'm glad you said that.
You can sit up here.
All right, us. Susan, I feel so far away from you. Okay, so we're going to do something just a little bit different this evening when it comes to the reading of the minutes. One of the things we did as we're narrowing down our candidates for deputy is we had them take minutes of the last board meeting so we could take a look at them and see how they did. Well, Norma's were very thorough, which is absolutely wonderful, but in interest of time, I'm gonna basically try to pick the high points from the minutes and summarize them, and then if anyone from that wants to read the full minutes, they'll be posted
And available in the office.
and available in the office. Okay.
There is a sign-up sheet floating, I hope.
Right there.
Okay. Have you signed it, Sean? Okay, we're good.
Okay, so these are the summary of the minutes for March 12th. The meeting was called to order at 6:02 p.m., followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. As far as members present, it was myself, Jesse Wallingford, Bill Savage, and Sean Corson. We had warrant number 20 for expenses totaling $167,696.22. Receipts of $34,937.76. Percent of the 2023 real estate taxes collected as of March 12th was 85.1%. I addressed the letters and comments related to the town and our bills, our special town meeting that we had to pay certain bills, and just clarified that what we approved on the warrant for bills to be paid was money that was still sitting in the general fund. They had just not been utilized to pay bills, taxes, etc. at the time that they should have been. During open session, we had several GWI employees give an overview of the internet fiber cable project. They brought a map that showed an overview of the project design and the infrastructure of the fiber cable path. Mr. Gilmore said that drops to houses are not typically a problem, but all of the drops that come off the, what they call the spine of the cable that runs down the main roads have simple plug-in, so if the tree falls down and disconnects the wire going from that main cable to the house, that's something really fast and easy to replace. We discussed potential staging areas. A staging area will be necessary for Hawkeye fiber optics equipment to park their trucks. Miss Hawks, who is the primary point of contact for Hawkeye fiber optics and equipment, said they hope to start by fall, and it would probably take them a couple of months to complete all of the setup and installation. Mr. Gagnon said people asking where they can find out if their residence is a part of the project. Let me see if I can decipher that a little better. I'm trying to read this and summarize at the same time. Mr. Gagnon was saying that in the upcoming weeks, GWI will set up a landing page on www.gwi.net where Sumner residents can submit an inquiry by supplying their basic information to answer questions, see if they qualify for fiber internet. Mr. Gagnon stated GWI will provide both residential and business grade broadband service, including phone service. Residential service options will start at $54.95 per month for the 250 megabytes. Is that per minute or per second? I think it's megabytes, megabits per second. Megabits per second, 250 megabits per second, which is the lowest tier that they offer, all the way up through 1 full gigabit. Yeah, megabit, up to one full gigabit. And they did not give the cost of the highest speed. If you have a analog or landline phone, that resident and that resident would like GWI to provide fiber service as an option for $14.95 per month, you can receive phone service over fiber. Mr. Eukitis, that's my guess, E-U-K-I-T-E-S, said the first 250 feet from the road are covered in the install. The first 250 feet from the road are covered in the install fee. After that, it's $1.50 per foot to go a further distance than that if your house is more than 250 feet off the road. For wireless service, say for instance, you want to have internet in your barn, there is an additional $5 per month charge, and the extender that they provide to extend the range of your router is $7.50. Mr. Gagnon stated that GWI's project is basically the grant that they are going to be working under is centered around providing service to underserved areas. Some areas of town will be covered only by GWI, other areas will be served by both First Light and GWI. One fact to note is that with fiber optics, the speed of your internet is the same no matter whether you're close to the hub or if you're the furthest house down the line. GWI will be constructing their own network. However, they will use as many existing poles as possible, and where there are none, they may have to add a couple. The hut is essentially a 10 by 10 building that will be on a 12 by 20 concrete pad. Pad's bigger to support propane tanks and a generator. This little building will not be manned. Ms. Haxton asked whether there were any areas in Sumner where GWI could not provide service. Mr. Gagnon stated that wherever GWI is building, they can provide service. One of the questions asked was whether or not this internet setup will provide internet to surrounding towns. And the answer from Mr. Gilmore was that this spine will extend partway into Buckfield, partway into West Paris. So it will help to provide some internet just outside of Sumner, but the centrally located hut in Sumner will primarily be servicing this town. Okay. For the RSU 10 report, Kristen got a lot of questions, primarily related to subsidies from the state and budget.
You can just read it if you want.
Yeah, I can't really summarize this one. The RSU 10 School Board Budget Committee looked at areas of special ed, nursing, Mountain Valley High School, Mountain Valley Middle School curriculum, central office, business office, and technology budgets, line by line. There was a discussion of a desire for RSU 10 to keep the tax increase, the taxpayers at 8% versus what the roughly 15% or more increase that it was looking like the budget was going to be. State support for RSU 10 was at 69%. Superintendent said that this year the state is only giving RSU 10 $40,000 more than they gave last year. A few years ago, the subsidy was $15 million, then it increased by approximately $750,000, then it jumped to 2 million 2 years ago. The school had anticipated another 2 million this year, but they only got a $40,000 increase over what the state provided last year. This does not cover the region's contract negotiations increases, which is having a dramatic effect on the budget. Special ed out-of-district transportation costs were discussed, as well as lack of bus drivers and bus driver custodian overtime. The billing process has changed, and the out-of-district charges are like daycare now. You pay for a certain number of days and are billed for those days, whether the student is present or not. According to the superintendent, out-of-district costs have more than doubled. Many programs are being cut to compensate for increasing costs. Ms. Chapman encouraged residents to attend RSU 10 budget meeting. Mr. Savage asked about federal allocations, and Ms. Chapman stated that there is a Title I allocation. Stacy Wallingford has concerns regarding a situation where hot lunches were not provided, supposedly due to a lack of propane, which turned out to be an internet rumor. Ms. Chapman stated that, this was an internet rumor, that the reason the school wasn't serving hot lunches was because they had run out of propane. Ms. Chapman stated that a new fire alarm had been installed and the propane line had been shut off in the kitchen to complete the installation. Therefore, it wasn't that they were lacking propane. They served cold lunch because they needed to shut the line off. Nancy Newton asked about the buildings, I'm assuming the portables? Well, I guess I better just read the minutes. Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to make it harder for you.
While the new school is being built, the Morovia School will remain and the town of Mexico will be using it. It would have cost more money to the district to tear down the school. Since the buildings belong to the prior towns prior to the district forming, law states that if these schools are no longer used, the town that these buildings belong to have dibs on those. Ms. Haxton questioned if the buildings needed to be bought. However, Ms. Chapman states she would have to look at her notes from the budget committee meeting for the exact answer. There was discussion of the guardrail replacement. Mr. Corson said that it should be taken care of by the middle to the end of March. Medical insurance costs were discussed. We'll know by the end of March when the benefits will be known for the next year. 10% is factored into the budget, and the budget will be adjusted accordingly once the cost is known. On April 3rd, 2024, time is still to be determined. The building committee is going to be meeting with Harriman, the architectural firm that has been contracted, at the Buckfield Junior Senior High School to discuss options of moving 6th grade at the, help me honey, HSES? Hartford Sumner Elementary School to the Buckfield
And I
Junior
don't
Senior
think you
High
call
School.
me honey. You were the first to answer.
Having a hard enough time. Further discussion of federal monies to assist with funds for the cost of special education will be. There was further discussion of federal monies to assist with funds for the cost of special education. We'll be contacting legislators and delving into this issue further. Ms. Chapman asked what the price tag is for the special needs students busing. Ms. Chapman, oh, she was asked. Ms. Chapman, oh, no.
No,
I'm sorry, I might need to get glasses. Mr. Chapman asked, will the price for the special needs students busing? Ms. Chapman stated that she is unsure at this time, but will get back to us with a number. Ms. Wallingford questioned, how many of the 19 special ed students are from Sumner? Ms. Chapman stated it is a district-wide total, unknown how many are from Sumner. Okay. For the code enforcement officer, plumbing inspector report, it was just stated that Fred Collins is recovering from surgery. And the select board has heard concerns from the community regarding a couple of septic system issues, and we're doing our best to investigate it. For the fire department report, Doug Fournier said that they have received pagers and radios from the forestry grant and have not heard regarding the grant.
We started to receive our gear from the other grant.
Alright, I'm gonna read this, Doug, and then we may amend these just a little bit. Okay, this is what I have written down. Have received pagers and radios from the forestry grant. That is correct. Okay. Okay, there's a blank space here, so you had not heard at that time regarding, what was the other grant? Was that the Stephen King
grant, which
Yep.
I stated we started to receive our gear from.
started to receive? Okay. Okay. The Sumner Second Assistant Fire Chief's father, who is the fire chief in Vermont, is donating 6 Scotty packs,
Yes.
as well as,
Well, there you go. It's free now.
yeah. What, was there another item that he was donating as well,
The
Doug?
bottles that go with them.
Okay. I always assumed the bottles were part of that. Okay. We actually use those fighting fire in the Navy. The fire department is asking for an increase in their budget this year as membership has increased. Mr. Chapman mentioned that since there have been so many applicants recently, possibly having a process in place to determine the best candidates. Suggested maybe some of the senior members could work on this. For the roads report, Mr. Corson said he'll be working on dirt roads with the rock rake once we have drier weather before going out with the grader. It's just too soft right now. Looking into a hot top wagon to heat up hot top. Hopefully within the next week or two, weather permitting, they can get out to patching holes. He had 600 yards of gravel hauled to the pit. So if you have issues on your dirt road and it's bad, we can get some gravel out there to those residents ASAP. Well, stick to the notes. Mr. Chapman said Bill Glass had shown him a spreadsheet for the roads, and Mr. Chapman is hoping Mr. Corson and the roads committee can update this regularly. Okay, for the animal control officer report, Mr. Corson reported he had to pick up a dog that was at a residence when the homeowner was deceased. The sister of the homeowner accepted ownership of the dog. They were still searching for a 9-month-old puppy missing on Abbott Pond Road that went out with an adult dog and did not return. Mr. Chapman mentioned another situation involving a dangerous dog on Damon Road. The resident contacted the state attorney general and passed along state contact number. The resident is concerned about summertime coming with children nearby as the dog was not leashed. The ACO is addressing this and has pictures of the dog and is putting a report together. For forms, reports, and correspondence, Mr. Chapman stated that the board has put out an invitation to bid for winter sand, and he read the bid invitation. Bids will be publicly open and read at the select board meeting Tuesday, April 9th. Mr. Corson suggested that we should have the sand pile measured periodically to see how much we have left. For new business, the nomination papers for the select board 3-year term will be available from March 15th and must be returned to the town office by April 23rd, 2024. Mr. Chapman stated he is probably going to put in his papers for another term. Mr. Chapman wanted to vote on the personnel policy, but decided that we needed to have one more look at it. For old business, we are in the process of interviewing for the deputy clerk position, and we'll keep you posted. Then we talked about the ATV club and their desire for a couple of access roads in town to connect with trails. Jesse Wallingford spoke to that. The access routes that the ATV club is looking to have are from the Greenwood Road from the store to Black Mountain Road to Reading, and Reading Road to Woodstock. They are not looking for additional access routes. Select board stated they would like to hear from residents with their concerns, complaints, opinions. The select board would like to put this topic of the access route on the town warrant in June. One resident stated that on page 80, Article 15 of the 2002-2003 annual report, that there was a 2/3 majority vote against having ATVs on town roads, except for 4 roads. Ms. Haxton expressed concern regarding what recourse the town would have if ATV riders do not follow the rules and are speeding up and down the road. For the efficiency grant update, Ms. Haxton discussed new LED lighting in the town buildings. Susan Strout was able to get a half off deal on appliances. which, while we're in here,
Nice.
It was a sale. I didn't maneuver anything to get that price.
Love that.
Published in the newspaper.
there are 72 options for ways to utilize grant money. Does not have to be town buildings. Discussion of solar to offset electricity costs now that the town has heat pumps installed. She thanked Don for all his hard work. For upcoming events, Nancy Newton's quilt in the town office is being raffled to benefit the fire department. Tickets are $1 each or $5 for 6 tickets. This is a ladies' auxiliary activity with donations received in memory of Betty Walden. The drawing will be held June 1st, 2024. A reminder that the annual town meeting will be held Saturday, June 22nd, 2024. Meeting was adjourned at 7:48 p.m. Thank you for bearing with me on that.
Hey, John,
I'll get better at that.
can you
Yes.
just strike 2 things about the RSC town?
Yes.
It's not that the school is expecting 2 million more. It's just
Was, yeah.
Just strike they were expecting 2 million more. I don't know what they were expecting, but. And, one more thing, it wasn't an internet rumor necessarily. I think it was a message that just went out to the people, but just strike the internet rumor part. on the
So
propane.
it just reads, Stacy Wallingford had concerns regarding a situation where hot lunches were not being provided, supposedly due to a lack of propane.
Yeah.
And just strike through the internet
Yeah.
rumor part.
I believe there had been a notification to go out to families, but it might have been able to be worded better. But I won't say that in writing.
All right. That was, okay. So, do we want to adopt these minutes with these minor amendments? All right, I'll entertain the motion.
I make a motion that we accept these minutes as amended.
All in favor? Oh, I second first. I feel bad for you people in the audience. I'm sorry, it's not been a good one for me. Okay. Alright, today, Jesse and Bill and I, signed off on warrant number 21. Total expenses of $45,879.83. Receipts, $39,594.38. And we went up in the last 2 weeks from 85.1% to 86% of the 2023 real estate taxes collected. Okay, let's start open session. Is there anyone in the community here tonight and has any questions, comments, concerns they would like to address the board? All quiet.
We'd like to welcome Norma.
Yes, let's just do that right now. Norma, would you come up here, please? Yes, yes. So, Norma Dulac will be filling our position for deputy clerk. She's well qualified, and we're really happy to be bringing her on board. Could you tell us a little about yourself, Norma?
Well, I've lived in Maine all my life, grew up in the county, and left there when I was 18. And I've lived in plenty of different places around the town, around the state, but I love country. So I moved back to Sumner. I'd lived here probably 20 years ago, and bought a house in Buckfield, and then moved to Auburn. But now I live in Sumner again. Been here 7 years, and I'm really happy to be out in the country again. And I hope I can do you proud and serve you and make everybody happy. Or make most everybody happy. That's a
He's
plus.
not.
I'll do my best.
Cool, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You have a couple of ATV questions answered.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and speak to that right now.
So there was two questions on the ATVs. One was, would the town be liable if they opened up access? And actually, they would not be liable. It would actually be, I won't say it would be better, but there was actually less liability if we do have access. We are covered by the state. So the only question I have left to get answered is who can use it. I believe that anybody that's a part of a club in the state of Maine would be able to use this access route, but I'm gonna get 100% clarity on that. And the other thing is we will be adding part of River Road to that access because it's not currently on what they had asked for. So to make sure that that's in the article for June's meeting. So.
All right. Kristen, would you like to give the report?
I'll try to keep it less lengthy this time. So we had our second part of the budget cuts discussion at our board meeting last night. And so that finishes up a third round of cuts. The goal was a 4.1% budget to budget or 8% to the taxpayers, raise in Texas, raise in the budget that the overall district would be receiving. I'm not doing very well either. What's going on in our house? So anyway, this third round represents a further $2.7 million in cuts. Next Monday, our board is going to meet for a board workshop on this and really go through the cut list. I have the cut list if anybody wants to look at it. And I also have what the budget looks like at this point that we're landing on. While the district was shooting for an 8% increase, the district got the 8% increase so far in all of this. Sumner, however, is going to be experiencing a 9.4% increase as compared to last year. And again, that goes to the state valuation of your town. I'm still trying to understand it all, but what this means is there's, if I'm understanding this right, this $83,889 increase in the taxes as compared to last year to the town of Sumner. Again, I have this, if anybody wants to look at this, they are more than welcome to, I can get a copy for you. So the RSU 10 board will be meeting on April 29th at our regular board meeting at Buckfield High School. That will include a board vote on the budget. May 29th is when the annual budget meeting will be taking place at Mountain Valley High School. And that functions like the annual town meeting that we have here. Everyone who shows up puts up a vote. They can make amendments to the different articles that are on the warrant and the overall price that we'll be landing on that will be going to the June 11th referendum. That will be voted on that night. So if you don't like what you're seeing here, come to that meeting, May 29th. Okay, there will be an information meeting happening before that at Buckfield. I don't have that date right in front of me, but I did give it to the ladies here at the town office. The superintendent did say that She is more than willing to come to individual town offices, meet with selectmen, anybody who's interested in getting more details about this budget, talking about it. So, if anybody would like to do that, please call Diane and schedule, or get the message that there is in fact an interest for this, and, we'll see if we can get that scheduled if people are interested in that. And last, on Wednesday, April 3rd, it's a week from tomorrow, that Nizinskit Building Committee meeting will be taking place at 5:30 at the Buckfield Cafe Auditorium area, if anybody would like to come to that first meeting. The public is always welcome to these. They'll look at you funny if you do show up, right, Sandra? But that is in discussion for moving the sixth graders from Hartford Sumner Elementary up to the high school, and what building adaptations would need to take place with that. Yes, Richard?
Why do they wanna move the sixth graders down to Buckfield? Is it on account of room down here or what?
That is what I am understanding, that pre-K came up in Rumford with a new building project that is taking place. Pre-K has started there, but really pre-K is coming into the schools anyway. And so the superintendent, my understanding is the superintendent wanted to also offer that here, but that's been for a few years now, right, Amy? Okay, so.
Yeah, my kids went to pre-K.
Okay, so I'm just hearing a lot of this too. I didn't flat out ask our superintendent that very question, but that is what I've been understanding. So should bring that question, come to that meeting if you'd like to know that, more specifics on that.
It just ends up costing the town of Sumner a lot more money, that's all, for small as we are.
Has it, has it been decided upon that the sixth graders are moving? Now that is, so it's still out
This is
there.
a feasibility study.
Right, okay,
This is a feasibility study, and this study, to my understanding, will be done by June 1st. So this is what the feasibility is of moving them there, and what options there are to do that.
They don't have an accurate head count of what they got there? To see if
They,
they really need to go that route to add on down there? I'll ship them down there. to
there, we
Buckfield
have
High School.
enrollment numbers. My understanding is that the sixth graders are currently in a portable at Hartford Sumner. So, yeah, so, anyhow, if you have more questions, you can let me know and I can write them down and see what I can find out. But, questions? Good?
Just one, out of curiosity, was there any further discussion about the moving of the portables to,
The portables are gonna be
Here.
moved.
they are?
Okay, I'm not sure what portables you're talking about, but the portables that were discussed last night at the, board meeting are the portables that have been in Mexico, the building that's being built, that portable, or portables. I think there's one. I think there's one.
Oh, okay, it's just one, okay.
I think so. There was a lot talked about last night, but it's going to be moved to the, athletic field area behind Buckfield. That is a conversation that included talking to the state. The attempt on the superintendent's part was going to be to sell the portable, and that money came through a grant, so the money would have to go back to the state. It's not anything that the district could absorb. But I believe the best offer for the portable was $30,000, but the portables, the state is saying were worth $100,000, so the district would have been responsible for making up the $70,000. So it was a whole lot better to just move the portables, or portable, yeah, it's one, portable, and maybe being able to use it at Buckfield later on, at some point in time. So it has to be moved immediately because the building needs to be built over in Mexico. So April 1st needed to be moved by. So that was a decision that just got added to the agenda quickly yesterday.
Do you know if any of our portables finally got their fire suppression and everything and started being utilized, or are they still sitting there?
I think they're storing some stuff for the music program, but I'm not sure. If you want me to find that out, Mr. Chapman. I'll do that. I think the ones at Harvard Sumner are being used. I don't know about.
Did you mean
the
at
ones-
Buckfield High School?
Yeah, I don't know about I'm sitting down here.
Thank you. Okay, Doug, would you like to talk to us about fire department?
Well, as far as calls and endorsements, pretty quiet. We're still doing some training with West Paris and Buckfield Rescue, and Woodstock invited us to do some cold weather training with them. That was supposed to be this weekend, but they canceled because of the storm.
So we're trying to do cold weather training.
Seems counterproductive to me, but.
Aside from that, things are going. So. You said you had something, Ed, too, about the rates.
Oh, yeah, I'm, basically, Diane, you haven't heard anything.
I did, they said they can't.
Okay, so, I'll present the bid from Western Maine Steel,
Yep.
Next week, and my idea, as long as it's okay with the other board members, is my son can provide some community service, helping us
Right.
install those, as soon as they're
Yep.
cut out, should the price be agreeable.
Sounds good.
All right?
Thank you.
Roads report, Mr. Corson.
Yeah, so, things were going pretty good. I was getting really excited to start doing some work on the roads, and then we get over 2 feet of snow, so now we're gonna be set back for a while. I understand the roads are getting real bad. There's not much you can do to them when there's water in the holes. So as soon as it dries out, I'll be getting out there and working on them. We did have quite a few complaints about this storm here. The roads were too narrow, it's because they had to do them with a pickup, a lot of the back roads. We was lucky they could even plow them. I think we got through that storm. Hopefully that's the last one, big one we're gonna have this year. That's about it for the roads. And then the ACO, a fellow called on the Reading, on that Abbott Pond Road, a couple weeks back about the puppy, and now I got complaints about 2 adult dogs and 2 puppies running together up the Reading Road, and they belong to the guy at Abbott Pond, but I had been there 2 or 3 times, and nobody comes to the door, and he don't even plow his door yet, so now I can't even get up into his house. So if anybody does see these dogs out on the Reading Road, call me, because I think they just gotta be caught, and we'll go from there.
You got the tracks, you need gloves yet?
I got all the equipment now, we got cages, I got a protective, gloves, everything now, so I look like a professional.
I was gonna
For a couple months,
I was gonna
otherwise.
ask you to bring them, but I forgot.
Yeah.
Cool, good deal. Forms, reports, correspondence, just a reminder that bids are out for the winter sand supply, and those bids are due by April 19th. If you happen to know of a contractor that may want to bid on sand, we can give you a copy of the bid invitation, and we'd be happy to pass that along to them. For new business, tonight, yeah, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that we did also, include ourselves in the bid for salt with the state. We don't have to accept the price that they give us, but our salt will be included in the stockpile if we do decide to accept the bid price once that comes in.
Gotcha. Thank you. All right, new business. Tonight, the board would like to vote on accepting our new personnel policy for the town of Sumner. Reviewed and modified for the last time as of this afternoon. We will have a copy available at the town office if anyone would like to look at it. We'll also try to get this posted on the town website, and if you happen to read it and find anything in it that you think should be changed, please bring it to the attention of the board and we'll look at it and we'll consider it, amending it accordingly. So, Mr. Wallingford.
I make a motion that we accept the town of Sumner's office personnel policy manual as it is right here. I'm not gonna read it.
Yeah. I second that. All in favor? Okay. Policy accepted. That seems like it's been a long time coming.
There was a committee working with that.
Yes, the policy committee. Did a great job.
And we'll be looking at that annually. And for those of you present with us that participated in that, Susan, Diane, Kristen, Lori, thank you very much. Much appreciated. And for those who weren't here, if you watch this, thank you also. Amy, I almost forgot. I'm so sorry, you're sitting right in front of me. Okay. Susan, would you like to speak about the 2021-22 audit?
Sure, this audit will cover July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022. It's one of the 3 missing audits that we haven't yet had. Lance is coming in on April 23rd, that's Lance being our auditor, and we'll start that audit. Once we get that one completed, we'll start the 22-23, and then hopefully Sherry's exit audit, which would be July 1st, 23, and November 14th, 23. And we'll shoot to get those done before June 30th of 24. That may be a little optimistic. But in any case, we're starting the first pretty quick here.
Awesome, thank you very much. Okay. We already announced Norma for the deputy town clerk position. And Norma, you'll be starting in the next 2 to 3 weeks?
Yes.
Roughly around the 11th,
The 11th.
you said? Wonderful. The town office is going to be closed April 3rd and 4th because Diane needs to attend some training that will make her a more confident, proficient clerk for our office.
Is this the one in Bangor? Yeah. I think you're very confident.
You, anytime you need to say something, you can just pipe right up. Beginning April 1st, town office hours will be extended to include Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 12. Old business, efficiency grant update. Is Mary Ann here tonight?
No.
Okay. Upcoming events, the Ladies Auxiliary is still receiving donations in memory of Betty Walder. The quilt that's available to view right inside the office there that she made is being raffled off. Raffle tickets are $1 each or $5 for 6 raffle tickets. And this drawing will be held on June 1st, 2024. There is going to be a Easter egg hunt hosted by the Mothers Community Club of Sumner on March 30th at the East Sumner Congregational Church at 50 Main Street in Sumner at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. This event is for all children ages 2 to 12 living in Hartford, Sumner, or Buckfield. All children must be accompanied by an adult while present. Dress for the weather of the day, and please bring your own Easter basket. Come meet our Easter Bunny. Call Lee Berry for any questions or make a donation or volunteer to help. The number is 207-388-2181. This is a landline, so don't try texting. Tax exemption applications are due by April 1st. Nomination papers for select board and road commissioner are going from now until April 23rd, when they need to be returned. Scholarship applications are due April 30th. And reminder to you all that the town meeting is on Saturday, June 22nd this year.
10 a.m.?
Yes.
10 a.m. Is there any further business to discuss? All right, people, thank you for your patience with me tonight. I would entertain a motion for us
Make
to
a
adjourn.
motion that we adjourn the meeting.
I second. All in favor? Meeting adjourned at 7:01 p.m.